2005 to 2008, was part of a national championship team, spent time in the NFL. It's like in the ABCs, Carolina, St. Louis, Kansas City, Seattle, New Orleans, Buffalo, Indianapolis, New England, Philadelphia, Washington. He's modeled a few uniforms. He also starred for the Arena League New Orleans Voodoo. LSU will host top-ranked Alabama Saturday night at 7 p.m., highly anticipated game. Here to touch on that, among other things, please give a warm greeting to New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club. Welcome to my friend, the high school analyst, Marlon Favori. Marlon?
Well, thank y'all for having me. It's always great to come and speak here at the Quarterback Club. It's a wonderful honor for the students, a great deal. And I hope y'all enjoying y'all lunch, because when I finish, I'm definitely going to grab me a bite to eat. Definitely. Well, it's shaped up to be a very, very exciting season here for LSU. Would y'all say the same? Been a very exciting season, obviously. Just recently, Coach Saban acknowledged that this LSU team is undefeated. You know, they haven't lost a game. Guess he's counting the last 3 games. So we'll definitely talk a little bit more about that. But before I dig into LSU, I'll give you a little more background about myself. As Mr. Ken mentioned, I do the Cox 4 games of the week, high school analyst, also guest host on 100.3 FM New Orleans with the Lunch Club with Gus Cattengale. And also be launching off the second portion of Inside the Trenches, which will be coming out at the beginning of the year. So just been really busy with that, but just had a great opportunity the last few weeks to reconnect with the folks out there at LSU. As you guys know, Coach Ed Ogeron had opened up an open door policy there now, so all former players they're invited to come back. So last week I had a really, really great opportunity just to talk a second here about the Tigers. A really, really good opportunity. The last 2 days, myself and Skylar Green ran into Matt Flynn as well. Went out there and Coach O said, you know, in his fashion, "Hey man, what y'all about to go do? Y'all about to go back to New Orleans, Marlon?" I said, "No, Coach, I'll be here for a while." "Okay, well, I want you to come talk to the team. I want you to stay around for practice a little bit." I was like, "Okay, Coach, great, I will stay." And this has really been sitting heavy on my mind and my heart for a while to go talk to this team. I thought back of my time at LSU between 2004 and 2008, and how during that time a lot of former players used to come back. Jarvis Green, Howard Green, just to name a few of the guys that came back. Lord bless the dead, Marquise Hill, he used to always come back. And these guys didn't come back just to enjoy themselves like they were college students again. Well, they probably did, of course, you know that. But they spent time and they worked out with us, and they did individual drills with us. And to us, I remember as a collegiate player how important that was and how great that really made us feel to be able to have older guys come back and share and help us on the field. I mean, honestly, I can speak honestly about it. At LSU, we had 2 years in a row the #1 defensive line in the country, and I mentioned 3 D linemen just now. So it's just, I had to go out there, and it wasn't so much about the drills. I mean, they have tons of wisdom there right now. I was just goosebumps all over me thinking back to being, as a high school student, how influential Ed Ogeron at the time was at USC, and Pete Jenkins were to me as a player. So for those guys to be in the same room, this is big, this is huge. So I really wanted to stress that to the defensive line, and I just remember what that did for us. So me and Skylar was riding out to Baton Rouge, and I was like, "Ski, man, we really do need to speak to the team." So if Coach O asked, I won't deny it. Man, he introduced us. He had the football in his hand. He ran in there like they were running out the tunnel again, and he introduced us. And we spoke, and it was just how those guys would lock eyes in. I took my ring off. I threw it to Leonard, caught it. "Thanks, Leonard, for catching the ring." And say, "Hold this." I say, "Man, how many losses you see on that ring?" Leonard, "Man, 2, son, 2. 2. He said 2. I said, "That's right. How many losses y'all have this season?" Jamal looked at Neil, and all those guys kind of looked at each other and said, "We lost 2 games." I said, "Well, y'all hold your own destiny in y'all's hands. Y'all can do this." So just to encourage them, because I know how they need to understand what they have now, and Coach O and that staff there, and they can make something magical. So probably like half of you in this room right now, I'm a bit nervous for this game this weekend. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, last game, Ole Miss, they did fairly well. Won. It's a tight one. You know, some say, man, we could have kind of coast past that one a little better than we did, but we won. So, bye week in normal LSU and Alabama fashion. Bye week coming up here this week. So, this past week. So both teams had a week to rest. So I'm excited. I can definitely run it. I love to talk, as y'all can tell. But I would like to open up the floor right now for some questions. If y'all have any questions regarding LSU, Saints, high school football, I'm open to talk about all three.
What was your impressions of Aranda, the defensive coordinator?
Coach Aranda, he's a great guy. I had a chance to meet him this summer. I went out and helped with the high school camps, and just be out there as a former player. And I had a chance to go up to his office and speak with him. He's not a man of many words. He doesn't do a lot of talking. But when I walked in the room, he was doing some film study. So I had a few Q&A for him, just to talk about the Louisiana talent and Coach, what's the difference between Wisconsin and LSU? One word. Man, a lot more talent down here in Louisiana. just like that, very soft-spoken. But my opinion on him, I think he's made a huge impact on that defense. Took a system that they had in Wisconsin, as we had a chance to see a few years ago when we had a chance to play against the Badgers. I think the guys love it, and it's working well for them. LSU this year, the whole year, defensively, they've done well. It's just a few miscues on offense, of course, in those two tragic losses. But I think he's a great fit for the team.
Hey, Big Fave, when you work in those high school games, you talk about the talent in this area. Can you name some players that you personally seen that stand out that you think is going to make it to, obviously, the next level, even higher up around here, that's playing right now?
That's playing right now. Where should I start? Destrehan. Should I say the whole roster maybe? Of course, the young running back they have, Emory, he looks well. And just this past weekend, it was crazy. We did the Carr and Eastern game, and announcing the game before, I was like, this is going to be a tough matchup. Last year, Carr did win 40 to 14, so this might be a tighter year for them. And this Edna Carr team, McMath, his speed, it's insane. 61-13 was the score. So me and Gary were talking. We were saying it very jokingly, but the team beat Brother Martin. I think they can. Curtis, Rummel, just to name a few teams in this area. Destrehan, I think they can play with. So it's tons of talent down here, man. I look forward to this year's signing class of guys from this area.
Can LSU beat Alabama, and if so, why?
Great question. LSU can beat Alabama. I think that they can do it, and I'm not being biased because I'm a former Tiger. I'm really looking at the cold hard facts in this game, Ken. Defensively, LSU is next to none right now in the country. I think they have the best safety in Jamal Adams. Up front, they're getting things together, of course, with the knowledge of Coach Pete Jenkins and Coach Ed Ogeron, the influence. Coach O, of course, in head coach fashion, runs to both sides of the field, check on the field, but he spent a lot of time just over there at that front seven. So with the system that they have now, and in the offense, the fact that more guys, and Tyrone, you know this, you spread that ball around, man, that eighth guy had to come out of that box, and so if they can force Alabama to have 7 guys, or sometimes if lucky 6 guys, because they're passing the ball the way they've been doing it the past 3 games, if they can come out there and do that, we're in for a football game at LSU. So I know at the beginning of the season they had LSU maybe like a 3-point favorite. I think that somewhere around, I think this will come down to less than a touchdown scoring game with LSU coming out on top. Any other questions?
Your impressions of Leonard Fournette as a running back.
I'm sorry?
Your impressions of Leonard Fournette as a running back.
Oh.
From your standpoint as a defensive lineman.
Man, Ali Broussard. You hear Tyrone over here, Purple Knight, man, telling you, the talent. Ali Broussard, I had to go old school. Bo Jackson, Earl Campbell, he's amongst them. As y'all saw last week, his burst of speed, how he runs with power, how he invites the defender, especially when he gets into the second level, you best believe a stiff arm or some kind of shoulder is coming. So I think this is probably one of the better backs that I've seen come through LSU. No disrespect to anyone. Of course, Kevin Falk, he's mentioned amongst those guys. Ali Broussard is definitely mentioned. But when you have speed like a Skylar Green, but run with power like an Ali Broussard, he's a great back. He's going to do great in the pros. I think he's going to go a little old school when he go there. Wherever he end up going, like a San Francisco, Detroit, teams that run, they'll line up tight end, strong left, and you know what's coming. 37, right at the limit. So I look forward to seeing him have bright future. Bright future.
See 100% going into the Alabama game? How far?
Observing him last week, watching him at practice, just walking around, I think he's well over 75%, and that's just because me and Tyrone put the cleats and helmet and shoulder pads back on, and we play 4 games. The soreness from our body will kick in, and I'll probably say I'm about 70% myself too, to be honest with you. So I think right now, more than anything else, he's dealing with the soreness from the injury. But of course, Nike does a great job with the cleats. So the cleats that he's wearing really molds his foot well, and it takes a lot of that pressure off. You know, you're getting into the winter months, so it's not as hot. So he's been rehabbing and taking care of his body. After an injury, broke Ali Broussard's record, just shattered it. So I think he's pretty healthy. Questions? Well, thank y'all so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.